This G1 Climax is going to be the death of me. What's going on, WrestleTalk friends and fans? I am Tempest from WrestleTalk.com, and I'm a very sleepy boy. All joking aside, we are back with another edition of the WrestleTalk Recap. Of course, breaking down the news and notes in this week in professional wrestling, so let's get things started right off with the match of the week. I said it might have been the start of a bit of a trend last week, and that it was. The G1 Climax produces the match of the week again. This time, it's Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi. These two battled on night 5 of the G1 Climax this week, and it got a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. Didn't quite live up to their match from last year's Best of the Super Junior, but it was an excellent match that you must go out of your way to see. Then we've got the show of the week, and it is G1 Climax Day 5. This show had perhaps the most stacked card of the entire tournament, with the aforementioned Will Ospreay vs. Shingo Takagi not even being the main event. That of course being the Kazuchika Okada vs. Jay White match, and the card also featured Minoru Suzuki vs. Jeff Cobb and Kota Ibushi vs. Tomohiro Ishii. Ooh. The ongoing battle between WWE and their independent contractors continued this week as WWE put further sanctions on Twitch and how WWE talent can use the platform. A number of WWE talents were reportedly livid at this news, and of course, we're just gonna have to keep waiting and seeing what's gonna happen. Over on the other side of the world, Harold May is out as New Japan Pro Wrestling's president and CEO. May had been the president of the company since 2018 and was reportedly not in favor of a partnership between AEW and New Japan. Perhaps we will see one in the near future. Ooh. That's just speculation though, please don't report that. Finally, the WWE Draft was officially announced this week and will be taking place next week over 2 days, October 9th on Friday Night SmackDown and October 12th on Monday Night Raw. Switching gears again back over to this week's shows, you had WWE's Clash of Champions Gold Rush pay-per-view. While the middle chunk of this WWE pay-per-view didn't have a whole lot to speak of, the beginning and end of this show were absolutely excellent. Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles took part in a 3-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title, which featured one of the most creative finishes I've ever seen in a ladder match. Then, in the main event of the show, Roman Reigns continued his excellent heel run by absolutely decimating Jey Uso, leading to Jimmy Uso returning and throwing in the towel to save his twin brother. I just love Roman Reigns so much, guys. It's going on. Fast forward the next day to Monday Night Raw, and you had Randy Orton putting on a pair of night vision goggles like he's playing Splinter Cell. It's so ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to watch Raw anymore, guys. I don't. Over on Wednesday, you had NXT, which featured an excellent segment with Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly as they prepared for their NXT Championship match this Sunday at NXT TakeOver 31. Over on AEW Dynamite, you had a pair of championship matches as SCU took on FTR for the AEW World Tag Team titles in a losing effort, and Jon Moxley defended the AEW World Championship against The Butcher in the main event. Also on the show, Cody did an interview where he accepted Brody Lee's challenge for a dog collar match next week on AEW Dynamite. Yeah! Our graphics guy was busy. That's right, it's time for the G1 Climax report, and first up we've got Day 5, where Taichi managed to defeat Yujiro Takahashi, Minoru Suzuki beat Jeff Cobb, Kota Ibushi beat Tomohiro Ishii, Shingo Takagi beat Will Ospreay, and Kazuchika Okada fell to Jay White. Then on night 6 you had Yoshihashi defeating Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr. losing to Kenta, Hiroshi Tanahashi beating Juice Robinson, Tori Yano defeating Evil, and Tetsuya Naito beating Haruki Goto. Fast forward to Day 7 where you've got Minoru Suzuki beating Yujiro Takahashi, Kota Ibushi beating Jeff Cobb, Kazuchika Okada defeating Taichi, Will Ospreay defeating Jay White, and in the main event, Tomohiro Ishii defeating Shingo Takagi. Finally, on Day 8, you had Juice Robinson defeating Tori Yano, Zack Sabre Jr. beating Haruki Goto, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating Yoshihashi. Aha, I said it that time. I said it right. Then Evil was able to get the win over Kenta in an all Bullet Club match before Sonata was able to get the win over Tetsuya Naito in an all Los Ingobernables de Japón match. Hey, who do you think is gonna win the G1? She says Okada. If you don't like this video, you're gonna make her very upset. And that has been the G1 Climax report. Heading on over to WrestleTalk.com, you can check out some of our latest features in pro wrestling, including Louis Dangore's list of 10 WWE stars who should switch brands in the upcoming draft. Then back over on YouTube, you've got Adam Blampier's latest list on pro wrestling, that being the 14 greatest WWE video packages of all time.
Once more with feeling, wrestling's the worst part about wrestling. If you're really honest with yourself, you're here for the entrances, the finishers, and the video packages, and hey, we've already talked about entrances and finishers. Let's Return of the Jedi this son of a bitch.
My way or the highway. Make sure, of course, you're subscribed right here on Wrestle2. Louis Dangoore has 2 separate interviews this week, one with DDP and one with Ginny. And of course, you'll get all of your G1 Climax coverage right here with me, Tempest, as well as Randy Andy Datson, Sana Ladd, and the occasional guest popping in. Over on Parts Unknown, you had part 2 of No Worlds Barred Crisis Between Worlds. And in other news around the channel, Luke Owen and Mr. Ollie Davis will be going head to head in a virtual WWE draft that you will be picking the winner of.
I challenge you, lukewarm Luke Owen, next Wednesday, 3 o'clock GMT, BST right now.
BST, yeah.
On Wrestle2.
What a great channel.
We're gonna do a live draft.
Coming up this week on WrestleTalk, you have coverage of NXT TakeOver 31, as well as more coverage of the G1 Climax tournament as we reach the halfway mark. And that just about does it for me with another edition of the WrestleTalk recap. Make sure you give this video a like and a subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to all of WrestleTalk's YouTube channels for that matter. Make sure you go over and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is at WrestleTalk.official. Our Twitter is at WrestleTalk_TV. And you can follow me on Twitter at TempestWT. And I will see you next time. And I love Roman Reigns.